Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the second Devlog video on the MarSpace project. So without further ado, let's dive right into it and start implementing the AI system outlined in the last video. If you haven't seen it, or you're just new to the project, well, I guess now's a good time to go watch it. I thought it'd be a good idea to start off with a list of the things I need. There are a couple of online tools available for project management, some of which are even specific to game development, but ultimately I settled on a website called Trello. Oh yeah, and by the way, I really love how it says Butler up there in the corner. Really makes you feel like you're being treated exquisitely by a project management tool. Now that we know what to do, let's get to work, shall we? I started off by writing the system for carrying an item from one point to another. I decided to use a finite state machine with the following 4 states. Moving the character to the pickup position, picking the item up, moving to the drop-off position, and finally dropping the item off. I also noticed that pretty much all states of a task would have an initial state, so I made a task status that combines the current state with a flag indicating whether or not some initial actions must be taken. Finally, I added a flag to indicate whether a task is aborting. This is useful as tasks can't just vanish should another task be about to be assigned. For the carry item system, this logic is actually really simple and basically just jumps to the dropping state if the item hasn't already been picked up. If a new task is assigned, it only becomes active once the current one is completed. To account for this, I added a queued task that can be manipulated using the same set of functions as the currently active one, as well as a method to make it the new active task. This means that the top-level AI system will be able to replace tasks without having to worry about letting the current one finish. Alright, so I've just added the carry item system to the game, so I can still send this guy from A to B. But now in theory, if I press T, yeah, he'll go and pick something up. And then go and drop something off at a different position. Very nice. So since I don't have a pickup animation yet, I've just used the blinking animation for now. But yeah, it works. So I figured a sensible thing to do next would be to actually give the inhabitants some parameters which we can calculate the utility from. For this, I made a new component holding just 2 values for now, hunger and work desire. Alright, so I guess it's time to address the elephant in the room, the top-level AI system. Oh yeah, and in case you want to skip my wonderful explanation of the outstandingly creative and innovative system I came up with, you can just skip this and just see if I manage to get it working in the end. Oh, you're still here? Well then. I finished exams today, so I had some more time to think about how the top-level AI system will go about assigning the tasks. Basically, there are 2 types of tasks. Ones that only have an effect on a single character, like sleeping or getting food, and ones that have an effect on the entire world, like carrying an item, working or building something. To better distinguish between them from now on, I'll call the first type personal tasks and the second type work-related tasks. Now, the idea is that the task assignment happens in 2 stages. First, the top-level AI system checks the utilities for all the personal tasks, with work just being represented by a constant utility of, say, 50%. If no personal task has a higher utility than this 50% threshold, the character will be added to the set of characters with a desire to work. Otherwise, the respective personal task will be assigned. Now, in the second step, the top-level AI system will go over all the work-related tasks that need to be done, going from highest to lowest priority, trying to assign them to the best available worker. There are definitely some pitfalls with this system. There might be a scenario where a much better worker becomes available just after a task has been assigned. However, the main strength of it is that the profession of an inhabitant can easily be taken into account in the future, just by creating different sets of inhabitants with a desire to work. Finally, changing the 50% threshold will directly allow the player to control how much well-being is compromised in the colony. Increasing it will lead to a direct boost in productivity with long-term effects on well-being, which corresponds to an emergency situation, or uni life for that matter. So now, after writing the code for all of this, I finally get to replace this beautiful readable line of code by this one. Just run it and... well, it seems something's not quite right yet. Yeah, so here I am again after fixing the issue, and yeah, it does pretty much exactly the same thing as before. But now we just have to queue up the task, and the top-level AI system does all the rest for us. Time to test this a little more thoroughly. So I've added a few more tasks and inhabitants to check that the task assignment logic works correctly. Sweet! So now let's see what happens if there are more tasks than inhabitants. Well, it seems that only one of the tasks is completed. Let me fix that. I'm actually really happy with this implementation. It might not seem like much, but this system forms one of the foundations of the game, and I'm confident that it won't let me down in the near future when adding more complex behaviors. While today's video has been quite technical, I'll make sure to start work on the GUI to mix things up a bit, and I'll also try to get some more animations done over Christmas. Also, I'm still figuring out how to best present this to you, because showing you all the code I've written makes pretty much no sense in a 10-minute video. But at the same time, I also don't want to hold it out from you, as I'm sure some of you are interested in this kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think. Moreover, I want to thank you all for the amazing response I got from the first video. I really enjoy sharing this with you, and I'm already looking forward to being back working on it after the holidays. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and Merry Christmas everyone!